Hello and welcome to Misery Loves Mandy, where comedians talk about miserable moments and whether or not they made them into jokes. This week's guest is Danny Jolles. He is one of my favorite joke writers. I love watching him perform. He's got a bunch of awesome specials out already. You Choose is the most original one I have ever seen. And his new one shoots September 14th at the Roxy in LA, so make sure to go and see it. This episode was a blast. We talked about bedwetting, another bedwetter. They're really stacking up. He was also in marching band like me, and I learned who the Hoktua Girl is. I don't scroll enough on TikTok. Make sure to like and subscribe, share with a friend, and then check out the Patreon for more exclusive content. And I would like to say a special thanks to this week's sponsor, Spoon. It is a app with a audio broadcasting, and I have a morning show on there called Comedy and Coffee, where we dive into a different comedian each week. So make sure to check it out. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
That's a joke. I talk about bedwetting, and I feel like no matter how much I say it in that joke, people do not realize how long I was bedwetting.
How old were you?
Into high school.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't crack this thing.
That's a lot older than I thought.
I know. Everybody's always like, I went through it. And I'm like, I went through it. I couldn't stop.
People were having sex by the time you were still
I was still
peeing.
like, I can't. And yeah, I was so, even like, and then the problem is like I would go through periods where I would stop. And I'd be like, I did it. I finally conquered. And then I would have a night where I would drink a ton of water and I wouldn't think about it. And then I would do it again.
Did, when was the last time like it happened?
Not since high school, because now I'm like crazy. Like I get up, my body now is so trained that it doesn't happen if I get drunk. It doesn't, because it's
That's good.
No matter how drunk I am, my body is like, we will not pee the bed.
I don't know why mine even stopped, because mine happened in high school the first time, but I drank before that. I don't know, but it was one of the things once it happened once, and my body was like, we do this now.
So is it anytime you drink?
I haven't done it in a while, in a few years, but it was.
But it haunts you, because that's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem with peeing the bed is once it happens once, you're like, for the next 5 years, you're terrified. And then every time you do it again, you're like, it could happen at any moment.
Once the streak is broken.
Oh, and you're like, it could start again. So I'm always terrified. I live in fear to this day. I'll always be afraid about it.
I used to tell friends, like when I was in college, I'd be like, put me in the tub. Let me go to sleep in your bathtub, because I do not want to stress about ruining your bed.
That's so great. I would just I just wouldn't do sleepovers, or I was like, if I did do a sleepover, I would literally stop drinking at 4 o'clock. I would get there and whatever soda we were at, I would just stop drinking. So I would hopefully be so empty by the time I went to bed. And that would usually work, but then I would have moments. I would have had a couple incidents. It was so embarrassing. But then I got the little thing, and now we're good.
That's wonderful.
It's no big deal.
But it's so weird. I've had a couple comics that they don't know my jokes as guests, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm like,
yeah.
But they talk about because we talk about.
I anticipate nobody knows anything about me. Most podcasts
I know.
I do. I did a morning TV thing this past weekend, and the lack of any kind of information this lady had on me was just so wildly impressive in the moment. She knew I was a comedian. She knew I was going to, and she knew the thing she read. But outside that, she was so obviously who are you?
She's being lazy on the job.
She's just trying. Well, she asked just such general so comedy's hard, and it's yeah, I guess. So I assume nobody knows anything about me almost anywhere I go. That's kind of my general philosophy.
It's a good way to go into it.
I think it's probably the only way to live. I argue.
It's weird if you expect it. But my thought was like, I've had multiple comedians come on here talking about bedwetting, not knowing like that's like a huge part of my scarring, like part of my life.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now the list goes on with you. The ones I know that I've not like met was of course Sarah Silverman, Mark Norman.
Oh, that's right. Yes, him and I have talked about this.
Paul Verzi was just on and brought his up.
Really?
And then last week I had Chinadu on.
Chinadu went through it?
We have a whole team.
Wow. We should have a sleepover and just destroy some beds.
We totally should.
Just everybody drink as much water as possible. Go to bed. Let's see who gets it back.
Oh God. Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, it is a part of the reason I wrote the jokes because I was like, people don't talk about it, particularly guys, because it's much more common in guys. Although you have the common female, I guess there is like women have the drunk thing, guys have the just kid thing, but it's really common and nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was missing one comedian.
Ooh.
Nate Bargatze has a peeing story, like a drunk peeing story.
Oh.
So?
But what? Well, now
I don't know if it was.
And I'm a fan of Nate. I think he's great. You can't have a one-time pee and call yourself a bedwetter.
I agree with that. It needs to have like what you said, the trigger of every time.
I really respect him. I love his work. One of the few doing it right. Can't be a bigger fan. You're not a part of this group.
Everybody dreams about a toilet once a decade.
Yeah. Like we're talking about a problem.
Right? Am I right? Please.
I do remember having those before I had my like drinking. I do also have an overactive bladder. Like I went to the doctors and had everything tested, so I have like a fucked up bladder.
What did they and an overactive bladder?
So they make you pee and they do an ultrasound and then like pee after or something like that. Ooh. And then it's just like all the pee doesn't come out or something like that. Oh. And then they put me on medication, and then the medication, it worked, but like it had tons of side effects and not worth it.
Totally.
I'm like, it's pee.
I brought this up to my doctor and he was like, because I was like, I go to the bathroom constantly, and he's like, you're drinking a lot of water? And I was like, yeah. He's like, meh.
Really?
That's all he said. And he was like, meh. And I was like, all right. Okay. You say so.
Doctors are crazy. My friend was just telling me a story that she went to a doctor for depression medication, and the doctor said, you have nothing to be depressed about.
That's a bold stance.
Isn't that wild?
That's a bold stance.
I was like, what is going on?
I love my doc. I have a great doc.
Good doctor?
Doc Masach.
Oh, whoa.
Dr. Masach.
Cool name.
I know. He's cool.
How long have you known him?
He's jacked.
He's jacked.
He's jacked. Somewhere in middle. He's told me where, but somewhere Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Jacked dude. Just very calm.
Okay.
Everything that happens, he's like, you're fine.
Jacked and calm. I kind of like that demeanor.
He's got a great demeanor. Like, and he won't joke with me. He like will not joke with me until we're done. Like I'm always like, "Hey doc," he's like, nothing, and then like he'll do it, and like the last part is always like the balls part, and we do the balls part, no jokes, nothing, and then he's always like, "Okay, you're good. So how are you doing?" Like, and then he'll come out of it. But during the exam, like until he knows there's no bad news, he's like very serious, and I can never break him. He's great. Love my doc.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I loved my doc until I got switched on my health insurance. We won't get into it.
Oh, what a nightmare.
But it's okay. I'll rebound next year when I redo it.
You got switched on your. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst. We can talk about it because it's nothing more boring than discussing the health insurance, and also nothing that'll get me more fired up faster.
Exactly. It is exactly
nothing
how
will get me more
I
like I'll
feel.
fucking kill these people. What are they doing?
But your doctor not talking made me think about like I hate when I go to get like a haircut or something and they're blabbing it up because I'm like focus.
Yes.
Because I know if I'm multitasking, like not talking while doing something, I don't do my best job.
Totally. It's like hair. Yeah. There's also any job that goes like by the hour. Mm-hmm. I'm very like, let's keep it moving. If you're gonna try like anytime like lawyer or anything like that, where it's like where it's like, okay, if you're gonna charge me hourly, fucking then we are not friends. Like keep it moving. You don't want to talk, fine, but like yeah, they're trying to chat with you. It's like no, you're by the hour, man.
It's a good point.
Uber drivers love to chat with me.
Oh.
And I'm always like, as long as we're moving fast, but let's not have like a leisurely drive.
I had an Uber driver recently where he overheard Matt and I in the back saying like, oh, our flight got changed. Like we thought it was delayed and now it's not. So he thought we were running late and he drove that way. And it was so scary.
I love that.
I did respect it. He was trying to help us catch the flight.
I love that I love that energy from them. I wish all of mine were. I took an Uber 2 days ago and we had a very leisurely ride.
Oh no.
A little too leisurely. I was like, keep it moving, my guy. He was like, yeah, when you're just watching, you're like, we're getting past. Like, why? What are we gaining? He's just chatting, chat. He was a weird guy.
It's tough. Did you want a straw? I got you a straw. I forgot to ask.
Actually, well, no. Stay here.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We got it. It's right on the table.
Okay. Just because I think I'll be able to get it up.
That's what I was thinking with all this going on. I think it's on the shirt.
I don't want to.
What a disaster!
It can happen. Who cares?
Yeah, the turtles were already killed. They don't really talk about the turtles much anymore.
Well, I think that the world's imploding, so I think that I think the turtles are unfortunately not as high a priority.
That's true. Thank you, Mike.
Also, I think it's like blatantly untrue. It's one of these things that I'm like, I'm sure it happens, but it cannot be that common. It cannot. There's just no world turtles are getting massacred by straws. I just don't buy it. And I know there's scientists who are going to be like, it's real. And I'm just like, I just don't think it's real. I just don't. There's no world that it's that common. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But I imagine turtles get taken out way more by boats. By also, I mean, we can start pointing them out. I can go down the list of things that I imagine kill turtles. And straws are not top priority. And for us to have to do an entire countrywide shift to shitty straws over it, no, thank you.
No, not worth the paper straw. Nothing makes me more frustrated than getting a $7 coffee and then it getting ruined by this shitty straw.
Oh, you have to get multiples because you're like, this straw is going to fall apart. The worst. And then meanwhile, I'm like, no way. There's no way.
I'm trying to think what I want to talk about first. If we get into the segments, or I wanted to talk about your last special and if you're excited for your new special. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
So Matt and I always talk about, we think you're the best joke writer.
Oh, that means a lot. Thank you.
And we love to study comedy in comedy books and joke writing, because I love to do this thing where every few months I decide I suck at comedy and I need to relearn to write.
You and me both. I think we all do that. Yep.
But I feel like you, did you, how did you get so good at writing comedy? Did you, were you naturally good at it, or did you, study?
I studied, and then, I mean, I think the bigger thing is, I think I don't know. I just try to listen, and I think that it's, I'm always, if you listen to a first draft of any joke I have, it's not good. It takes me a lot of... I think it's really about the trial and error thing. I got really good at trial and error. And that's the thing I do really well, is I think, I go on stage and I will just, let a new premise bit. And, I'm definitely all about, calling things back, etc. But I'm definitely okay, I really think, this thing's going to work. And then it doesn't. And I'm just very quick to be okay, what parts did work?
Okay.
And I just cobble those together, smash them. And then eventually they're okay, it kind of makes a joke.
Comes together.
Yeah. But I'm always it's trial and error. It isn't I sit down and write and I'm wow, this is brilliant. It's a lot of times. I mean, I do that.
It happens.
I will do, but I'll do a thing where I'll come up with an idea and I'm oh, that's good. And then I'll go oh, Danny, you've done it. And then I'll go on stage and do it and it's terrible. And I'm all right, but parts of it were good. I'll go back home and be parts worked. Let's not forget.
It's not dead.
It's not dead. It just didn't quite come out how I thought it was going to come out. I thought I had such a good premise the other day, and I'm just starting to get it to work. But when I came up with it, I because of something, I was filming myself, coming up with it. Because I was oh my God, this idea is so good. Such a good analogy for marriage. I had so proud of it. And then I said it on stage first time, and everybody was what are you talking about? And I was for sure.
No.
For sure. For sure. Doesn't make any sense.
But it's still gonna work.
But it's gonna get there. Now we're starting. We got it by the last show this past weekend. I was it's starting to cook a little bit. Starting to cook, but it's trial and error. Mm-hmm. That's really the key.
Okay. So I need more stage time.
Always. Everybody should be behind. Stage time is... You know what I always found the most helpful when I would particularly like early was hosting.
Yeah.
Hosting to me is like the key because if a joke can work out of the host spot, you're golden.
That's true.
So it's like I would host constantly particularly when I first came out to LA, I would host all the time. Still host on occasion, but very rarely these days. But sometimes I still will. And when I do, like the middle where I do my new joke, I'm like, okay, we're about to let this thing fly. Because we got no goodwill built up. They don't even know what comedy is, and here comes a new premise. But man, when I would get one to work, I'd be like, oh my God, it's host good.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Host good is a crazy thing to have going for you. That gets exciting.
Yeah.
But I try to write me. But I just bomb a lot. It's really the key. It's my strategy. I bomb constantly.
I think that's great advice.
Yes. I always am like, people should be you should be bombing. You also like, yeah, you should be saying premises that don't work. If you're not, if you're just doing things that you know are going to work, you're not pushing yourself.
Yeah. It's true. I love that feeling, though, like when you get something you're so excited to try, because it doesn't happen as often as I wish it would.
I know.
When it does, it's like, oh, fuck yeah.
I know. Oh, I know. When you get that, I had it about this, like, this sparring partner joke, and I was like, oh, my God. What a perfect analogy. I was so excited. I was like, oh, my God, it really captures what it is. And then it just bombed so hard the first time I said it. People truly like looking up at me like, what are you even trying to say? Like, not like we were past the point of like, like, is it funny? They were just were like, literally, what words are you using? And I was like, this is bad. Okay.
Oh my
We're
God.
gonna fix it. But now the joke's starting to cook a little bit. Starting to get there.
I usually don't ask questions like this because I like to stick to things, but I have so many questions. For your last special, the You Choose one, did you like, I should have given these questions to the news reporter. I really should have.
Let me tell you, she was really going on like, have you tried the pizza in New Haven? No, I landed it 2 hours ago.
When I watched that special, I was like, did you learn a lot about writing while having to write the opposite opinion?
Yeah, because you had to, I would have to I would write one side and then I would be like, okay, like what's the other one? And and the thing I always say about that special is like the first 2 to 3, I think even first 3 happened so fast. I was like, I came up with the idea and it was like one bam. Because I kind of, David Blaine, I had natural. I just naturally diverted. So I kind of had it like there and I was like, ooh, maybe you could do this the whole way. And like I came up with another one, was like bam, bam. Another one, bam, bam. And then the last 3 took me so long. Couldn't do it. Just kept, you would just be like, it's a real like mental game of like, what is my opinion on, like, is there a way to defend this? And it was hard. It was hard. And then a big part was like the last joke. The last joke was really like, that thing had to be like, oh, just an absolute hammer. All of which for a special that some would argue failed.
No, it was so cool. It's such an original idea.
I love it. It's hard to not on paper look and be like, it's not the fault of the special. Like I stand by, I'm so proud of that special and I pray someday it gets something. But like, boy, did it come out at the wrong time. Boy, did I mistime that special. Such a bad timing. Like at the height of crowd work hecklers. To be like, do you want to lock in on this special? Do you want to have to pay attention? Like super hard. And really think. Like, do you want to do that? And like just watching the internet be like, obviously not. And it was like, damn. I still believe in it, but I'm always like, it was not well timed. Did not time it out great.
Well, like all great comedies, they usually in the beginning just do okay and then pick up later.
That's the hope. It's the prayer. Hopefully while I'm still alive, I would love for people to watch this thing. Because I am like, man, but it was, I'm always like, it is on paper a massive failure.
Well, I loved it.
Thank you.
Are you gonna do anything like because your other 2 you did like each one of them had something original? Are you gonna do all crowd work for the new one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do all crowd work and hecklers. It's gonna be pretty wild. I got a premise for this one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's my thing.
You got a thing.
I still love this art form way too much, and it's gonna be the downfall of my life. But I love this art form, and I'm always like, I'm going to spend the rest of my career just absolutely trying to push myself to be one of the best. And whether that makes any sense based on the market, God knows. But I will continue.
That's all you have to do. If you keep pushing.
Right? You just keep pushing forward. You know what? I mistimed that one. But this one, which is also a slightly high concept, this one's the one that's going for sure.
Wait, before we get later in the podcast, let them know when they can go see it live.
September 14th.
Okay.
Los Angeles, California. The Roxy.
Yeah.
Please come. Please come. I very much like, because we'll fill it, but like I always like when it's like comedy fans.
Yes.
Because that's kind of my, and like, well, yeah, because I mean, like that, you go on the road to some of these towns and you're like, this isn't, but I can always make it work. But I'm always like, it can get tough. Mm-hmm. It get tough out there when you got it. I'm like, I like people who want a high concept.
Yeah.
And there is something cool that will happen. It's not the crazy, it's like, I don't want to say like it's, the last one was like a reveal. But there's a bit of a reveal to this one about like I will at some point be like, so here's what I did. And then we'll see if people give a shit. But there will be so here's what I did to this special.
No, they will. Then the more they pick up, people will watch the last one and the one before. It'll be a whole effect.
Whole thing. And then I'll be okay. And then I can get super lazy with my jokes finally.
Yeah, perfect. But by then you're going to have the muscle memory down so well, even you being lazy, they'll just come out great.
But I know. Well, yeah. It's just, you can just start slowly regressing as a comic. Like some of my favorites.
Some though.
That's why it's so cool when like someone is like, they just keep doing it and you're like, oh my God, you have no reason to work this hard still. Mm-hmm. You're still getting better.
Oh, it's my favorite. And every special, I'm not even like, is this going to be good? I'm like, this is going to be good. Yes. This is going to be great.
It's so cool. Anytime I do a show with Burr, I'm just always like,
oh yeah. When
he goes on stage and you're like, oh, he's trying really hard. Mm-hmm. He's working really hard at the craft still. Yeah. He doesn't have to.
No.
He could Bill Burr could sleepwalk his way through an hour and people would love it.
Totally.
And instead he's like, I watch him like grind out new jokes. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool to watch.
I saw him at the store a couple weeks ago and Chappelle's on the show, so he told me that it was like when the first time he tried it. Mm-hmm. And I learned that like after watching it and I was like, what?
I know.
It was perfectly written and performed. It was ready.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah. I love watching like those types when I'm like, oh, there's no reason you work this hard. Mm-hmm. No reason for it.
Good motivation. That's how it should be.
Good motivation.
Like I feel like that's who you have to strive to be as a comedian.
I think you want to, right? Like you're always like, I want to be, because you want to be like where Burr is, where you're like, and not in like a career wise, but as far as like, I mean, obviously that, but like just as far as like the respect that he has and just like amongst comics, the way everybody's just like, yeah, I mean, he's just the best at this.
Yeah.
He works so hard and it shows every time he goes on stage. Same Bargatze.
Yep.
Bargatze, you just watch. You're like, God, he's just so freaking good at what he does. I didn't curse there because of Bargatze. Yeah. I was like, he wouldn't want me to, he wouldn't want me to curse. He wouldn't want me to curse when I'm talking about him.
It's true. And both of them, they didn't get their like big until later. Well, Nate was, I think, like 30, maybe.
No.
Was he younger?
No. He was, as far as big, I feel like he didn't shoot off until COVID, I feel like. COVID's when Nate, like.
I think it's Comedy Central, he was in his early 30s.
Well, right. He had credits.
Yeah.
But when did he shoot up?
Probably Tennessee Kid, right? Was that like the one that everybody knew?
Yeah.
Tennessee Kid was... What year is that on? Oh, look at his little baby face.
I know. He's looking better over time.
I know. I can't wait for my glow up.
It's like unbelievable. Tennessee Kid 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. COVID. He's like during COVID is when I was like, obviously I knew who Nate Bargatze was since I started doing comedy. I was like, because he was in New York and I remember being like, this guy's a freak. Like, this guy's so funny. But then it was like during COVID, I was like, Nate Bargatze's having a moment. Like, you know, when you just like, we're like you just kind of like have moments like, wait a second. Like, this isn't just my feed. Like, I think he's exploding.
This isn't just my feed.
Yeah, because I'm always like, my feed's like, you know, nerdy comedy stuff. I'm in there. Like, but I was like, Nate Bargatze's exploding. It's so cool.
It is great, but it's crazy. Like, so then it's like having that and then like having all those things and then.
Well, living in the acting world and then living in the stand-up world, you're like, oh, thank God I'm in the stand-up world. If I was a straight-up actor, my career, like it would be I'm so over I'm so over the hill in the acting. As an actor, I'm the oldest person alive.
That's awful.
But as a comedian,
baby,
just getting going. Spring chicken here.
That is nice. The acting, I always think like, shit. You have like no control.
It's horrible.
I mean, you could make a web series or those. Do those people make those anymore?
I just made a short.
You did?
Shout out.
Hey, there you go. Do people make those anymore?
I mean, well, but nobody really should. I mean, I don't know why I did. I just was like, but I'm always like a big, what can I control guy, you know? So it's like, that's why I started doing stand up initially. So I was like, I went to NYU for theater. I was like, I'm going to be an actor. I was going to be a dramatic actor. That was what I wanted to be. And then I started graduating. I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. I can't help but notice. It seems like this is going to be tough. And so we did a little pivot. Pivoted over.
Life's about pivot.
You got to pivot.
You got to pivot.
I was like, dude, this is not going to happen for me. They do not. I can't audition. Nobody would let me audition.
What?
You can't audition as an actor. It's impossible to audition.
Like to even get the audition?
To get the audition.
Yeah.
It's one of my biggest, like, anytime somebody's on like a late night talk show and they're like, I auditioned for years and I just couldn't book something. And I'm always like at home like, you have no clue how lucky you are. The level of advantage you had to be auditioned. I couldn't audition for, I still can't audition for.
The hell?
Probably 10th of things I want to audition for. I audition for. There's so many projects that I'm like, I'll see and I'll be like, oh, I'm perfect for this role. And I've worked with these people before and they know me and they can't get the audition.
Jeez.
It's impossible. They're like, we already just offered it. The role's offered. It's like, it's not a real role. It's like not really going out to people.
Okay.
I feel bad for the people who audition when they already know it's going to be offer only. So it's like, well,
that's me all the time. And that's me all the time. Yeah. All the time I'll audition for things. And I'll put in so much work.
You'll really prepare.
My thing when it comes to stand-up, when it comes to anything is like, Hollywood's a tough place, but nobody will outwork me. I will outwork anybody. You just will not outwork me. It's just who I am. It's what I'm going to do. You can put me in a room. Like, I'm just going to outwork you. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get it done. Whatever you're doing, I'm doing more. That's my thing. So it's like with acting, like my self-tapes, I will put in so much effort. I will do some wild shit to book things. And it's worked. It's worked for me. I will go the extra mile to show you why I'm the right pick. But man, oh man, to then do that and then just be like, it went to Jonah Hill and be like, well, I mean, what are we doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, why did we put me in this spot? You could have just. But then it's like, yeah. So I'll put in a lot of effort into my self tapes. My self tapes can be pretty wild.
How's your wife feel about that? Does she help?
She's been fired from my self tapes. I fired her a long time ago. During the pandemic, she was doing it with me, and the second we were able to talk to another person, I was like, "You're fired. You'll never do a self tape with me again." And now it's like, if I am desperate, okay, I will go to her. But it is like, I have my friends Scott and Carson. We're a self tape pod, nice. And then I always am like any comedian. I'll try if I have time. I will always help them with a self tape because I think I'm pretty good at coaching acting. And I've done a lot, and I know how to like kind of get at least something. Because some comics are so stiff when they act. Yeah. And I'm like, gotta loosen them up.
I did an acting class for a little bit, and then they said I was very stiff. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a comedian thing, because we're like, comedy makes you very self-conscious about like being theatrical. Because everybody's like, because it comes off as fake on stage. But then it's like in acting, it's like you have to do something. You
have to move.
Yeah, you gotta move a little.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay, so the first segment I want to get into is called the Weekly Wiener.
Weekly Wiener.
It's something that bugs you more than it should have.
Okay, yeah. So I read this. I thought about it. And I was like, I don't like my thing, but I was like pacing around today, angry about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. I don't know if this is gonna work as a Weekly Wiener.
I think it will.
The Hoktua Girl, the anger towards her is so fucking unwarranted. What has she done wrong? to anybody. This girl has done nothing wrong. The amount of Hollywood hate I saw today on social media, the amount of like, she signed with an agency. She signed with like an agency.
Okay.
People were like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? They're going to sign a Hoktua Girl? And it's like, yeah, they are. Welcome to the town. Well, I mean, of course they are. They should. She should sign with them. Like, what are we doing? Of course they're going to do that. That's how this business works. They're going to sign Hoktua Girl. They're going to rep her for 3 or 4 years until she cools off and they'll drop her. That's how it works. But like, she'll make her podcast. She'll start her OnlyFans. She's going to make a shit ton of money, as she should, because she gave a great organic answer in a moment, and she deserves everything she's going to get because it's awesome what she said, and it's great. It was hilarious. It was funny. I saw the video 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, this girl's going to be a thing. Hoktua, funny. Great. She did it. It was awesome. Everybody pretending like it isn't great. I was so fucking annoyed today.
Wait, can you pull it up? Hoktua.
Do you know what Hoktua is?
No.
Oh, this is a viral sensation.
And I just saw it.
You've missed this?
Yeah, this is a massive thing.
I'm editing a lot. I don't really scroll.
So it's this girl. I can do it for you.
Okay.
So, because I had to... It's funny. I was talking to my wife about this yesterday.
It's going to be impossible to not find a parody of it.
Yeah, but this looks like it's it.
So you got a side piece.
Maybe I got 3. Maybe I got 7.
No. So that's her, but this isn't the moment.
It's not going to get there.
Damn. It pulled up on my Instagram earlier.
Yeah.
I saw someone post something and I just kept scrolling. I didn't know.
No, but this is the original. The problem is the original video is so long, and it's one moment that everybody talks about. $5 from Barack Obama.
What was the last girl that got famous over that? The other girl that said something.
The Cash Me Outside girl is the one I think about.
That's what I was thinking about.
That's so old.
Yeah, that's the throwback.
Does it show the like, you know, when like, I love how YouTube has the peak thing.
Oh
yeah, I was just looking for that and I don't see it on here.
Anyway,
you would think
while he finds this.
Okay,
here's what you need to know. This girl was interviewed, minding her own business. She didn't start this. She wasn't trying to go viral. Okay, she's walking down the street drunk. This guy comes up and interviews her. She gives a very just funny, genuine, slightly sexual interview. Okay? By slightly sexual, I mean one of the most graphic things I've ever heard. But it's funny. It goes viral. And she... wait, what is this?
The amount of shit that you have to go through to find just the clip because everyone's talking about
Everybody's
it.
talking about it.
Like, here's Morgan J. Let me see the fucking thing.
Morgan J's talking about Hoktua.
wow,
Classic Morgan to just get in there first.
I really missed the boat on this one. What the hell? Everyone's talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see where this is going.
That's it.
Okay.
That became...
This girl went viral from that.
It's been stitched onto fucking everything. Where you can't find it anywhere
Hoktua.
other than someone else clamoring onto her fame.
She was called...
Zach Bryan's bought her on stage, and Barstool, one of the girls there, has already signed her to their media company.
Yes, she's been signed to a media company. She signed with an agency. Signed all these things.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Perfect, yeah.
as she should. She's a viral sensation. This is what happens.
Yeah.
Everybody's mad at her. I've just seen so much anger over these past couple of days, and it's like, wrong person to be angry at.
That is the wrong person. She did nothing wrong.
She did nothing wrong. She did a funny thing.
She lost her job.
It exploded on. It didn't. That was complete.
That was
complete bullshit.
Oh, that's good.
I know. I watched an interview with her, and she was like, she was like, I was never a teacher. That's not a thing. She's 21.
Oh wow.
She's a 21-year-old college student.
And this is happening.
Who, again, mind your own business. She did not ask for this. She didn't try to have it go viral. It went viral without. I don't think she literally didn't talk for like 2 weeks. She did a very smart move where she, for 2 weeks, just let it happen. She didn't come forward. She wasn't like, that's me. Nothing. She just let it happen. It became why it exploded partially was because everybody was like, who is she?
Oh, wow.
Who is this girl? And then she finally just recently came forward and was like, yeah, I'm signing with agencies. I'm moving to LA. I'm going to fucking do this whole, I'm going to be the Hoktua Girl. And it's like, as she should be. I don't understand anger towards her. She's doing exactly what she should do.
It's just all jealousy.
It's jealousy, and it's like, look, everybody I get that everybody, it's the ultimate like dream. It's the Hollywood dream. Like the Hollywood dream is like you walk into a coffee shop and somebody's like you.
Yes.
And it's like, this is the modern version of that. Of like,
Very
she
true.
literally just like said, just the world was like, you're the thing. It's happening to you. And I'm sure she didn't dream it would be the most viral thing, the most vulgar thing. But it's like, whatever. She's responding accordingly. Like people are acting like, oh, how can an agency sign her? I saw someone tweet just being like, they said their position, I won't say it, but like, I do this and this and this. I have this, and I can't get an agent to sign me. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you're competing with a different person.
This isn't about you.
This isn't about you. This is a girl who said a funny thing and it went viral, and you understand how it works.
This is a good wiener because it's people making other things about their own personal
Yeah, and
shit.
it's like you have nothing to do with her.
Yeah. And who the hell cares?
It's like when Kanye's kid did the Lion King, and everybody was like, how many girls were beat out? And I was like, you don't understand what happened here. You guys are gonna pretend you don't understand that Hollywood Bowl wasn't like, oh, if we put Northwest in this, we'll sell all the tickets.
They know what they're doing.
Obviously, they're gonna do that. If you really don't like that girl, don't go and don't make it go viral. That's how you stop this. If you want to destroy Hoktua Girl, I don't know why you would. She's done nothing wrong. all she ever did was talk about a consensual sexual act that she would perform. Seems lovely. But if you don't want to support these people, just don't talk about them. But the angry talk, it's like, what did this girl do wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
I'll defend this girl until she does something to like really annoy me. But right now she's done everything correct. Everyone's like, she's gonna move out to LA. Of course she is. What is she supposed to do? She's turning down. She's gonna make $1 million the second she steps off a plane into LA.
Make the money.
Make your money.
Invest
Do your thing.
it.
Do your OnlyFans.
Do what you can for now.
If I was running her thing, I'd be like, one, you don't even need to sign with an agency. They're just gonna take your money. Like, this money's coming to you no matter what.
Yeah, you got it coming
You just
in.
need somebody to answer emails for you. They're gonna come in. Set up an email. The money's gonna come. Don't worry about it. Like, start a pod. Do an OnlyFans. Let those ride. Maybe sell tickets on the pod live.
Oh, yeah.
That's your money. Don't do anything else. They're gonna try to talk into acting. Don't do it.
I hope she can back it up. Like, I hope she's got like a fun personality and like it works out for her.
I'm sure she's 21 years old, so I can't imagine she's got like the craziest personality, but I'm
Yeah.
sure she's cool. I don't know. She gave a great answer. She's funny that whole interview. She's funny.
We'll put the link below for the full one so then you guys can watch it as well as me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bad scroller.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though. I like that.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. And I wish I would have clicked the video this morning when I saw Hoktua and I was like, what's that? And then I didn't.
Yeah. I've been really in on the Hoktua situation this morning. This morning got me real hot and bothered over Hoktua Girl. I felt real bad for her.
You could play a page on a game on your phone of scroll until you hit Hoktua, and whoever hits Hoktua first wins. That's how many videos have been made
Oh,
about
yeah.
this chick.
I wonder how long it would be until I got there. It would be pretty fast, I think.
Be a good
Yeah.
drinking game.
She definitely comes up a lot. I've been getting a lot of poker these days, but I get a lot of poker.
Do you like poker? Clearly. That'd be
I
weird
love
if you
poker.
didn't.
I get a lot of auditors getting like destroyed.
What do you mean?
Do you know this thing?
No.
You gotta get into
I
this
got
world.
so much to learn.
So there's these people. They call themselves auditors, and what they will do is they will go into a public building, let's say a post office.
Like getting audited?
No, so they're auditing. Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
Yes,
Okay.
they're constitutional rights auditors.
The constitutional rights auditing. So what they'll do is
Okay.
they'll go into a post office or sometimes anything publicly owned, library, etc. And they will be so fucking annoying. They'll walk around with a camera like this. They'll just shove it in your face, and like eventually people working there are like, "Can you not do that?"
What?
And then they will be like, "Oh, no, I can't do this. So I can't do it. Then call the cops. Then call the cops." And so eventually they're like, and like particularly like at the post office, like people are sending like things that matter to them.
Yeah, there's addresses.
Yeah, like
there's
there's
you don't want
things
on
that people are
camera.
like, "Can you not?" And they're like, I'm recording. And they're always like, and then the cops will come. The cops will be like, "You can't do this." They'll be like, "Yes, I can." Because technically you are allowed to film in any public property. So they are technically correct. By violation rights by tyrants at the library. Lawsuit filed. 1A audit fail. Right?
So these are going viral.
And I watch these. They are, how long is this one? They're the longest videos on earth. 24 minutes. I will watch all 24 minutes of this. It is such a big problem for me. I cannot stop watching them, and just, I get so angry on behalf of everybody at these poor places who are like, please leave me alone. Love also a police interrogation. That Secret Genius one is a great vid.
Oh, wow.
Love police interrogation videos. Very good for acting.
Oh.
To watch people
in the
react,
wild, yeah.
to react it, to like watch how people look when they, like, how they know people are lying, like looking for those things. It's like very good for acting.
That's cool.
I like watching those.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
These are good too for retention rate because they're long.
Oh.
They're freaking banking.
Dude, they're killing my algorithm. But it is crazy because then, like, I'll see some guy walk into a library and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, what?" And I'm like, I hope this guy gets punched in the face. Sean, one of the guys' names is Sean. I think he's the big one. Sean is like the big one who drives me up a wall.
So then they're just like set people who this is now their thing. And
This is now their thing. He just goes to different places, annoys the shit out of them.
What a certain kind of personality you need to have the balls to just do that. Like, you have to be ruthless.
It's such an interesting thing to do. Just to be like, I'm going to be so annoying. On purpose.
On purpose. Knowing you're ruining people's day.
Absolutely. People could not be more upset. You could not make people angrier if you tried.
Well, my wiener is not as fun as these. And it's a classic ween.
That guy.
That one.
What happened to Long Island? Oh, dude.
Oh, he looks exactly like I thought.
Yes. This guy.
This is like what I would picture for someone who would do this.
Yes. This guy is a pain in the patoot.
Oh, with the Constitution
Behind him.
Oh, come on. And he's pulling the Latino card?
He's just, I don't even know if he's pulling a Latino. Is he pulling a Latino card?
That's what it said, the sign behind him.
Oh, did it say Latino? Oh,
Latino
Latino
justice.
Justice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this has to do with the fact that he's very annoying.
Yeah, this isn't a race thing.
He's so annoying.
Wow.
So they arrest him because this is one where he went into the jail. He went he was doing
recording the jail.
He was recording the police entrance.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, "Can you not?"
Yeah.
And they arrested him finally, and that they technically can't. You technically can't arrest him. It's this very tricky part of the law where it's like, obviously what you're doing is annoying and bad, but you legally can, and you can't arrest him. You're allowed to be annoying in these spaces. Is basically what this guy has figured out.
It's a loophole.
And he's absolutely right. Because I was like, there's no way. And it's
freedom of speech and it's a public place.
Freedom of speech and public place.
Wow.
You cannot stop him from doing what he's doing. It's just it's wild.
Some of these guys talk wild shit to these officers.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Begging
you should
them,
know better,
begging
dickhead.
them to arrest. Yeah.
You're just like, whoa.
Begging them.
Yeah.
Begging them to get arrested.
Yeah.
How have I missed all of this? This is the most concerning thing about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Probably a very male-heavy algorithm.
Yeah, is this particularly male-heavy?
I
also
don't
got a lot of
know.
musical theater stuff.
You have a good variety.
I got some other things. You know? I got Hoktua Girl. I guess that's pretty male-heavy, isn't it?
I don't know. I feel like it's going viral. Then everyone probably.
I watch a lesbian cook every day.
What does that mean?
Alleviated, whatever channel hers is, cooking
No, what's
food.
that?
It's a good channel. Give her the follow.
Another one I don't know. Another one.
Anyway, what was your thing? I'm sorry, I
Mine
cut you
is
off.
pretty lame. Mine's pretty lame.
Oh.
Let's say classic, not lame.
Uh-huh.
But this is, I'm surprised I've never talked about this before, but it happened recently, and I was like, how has this not been? When you go to the bathroom stall and the person that comes out right as you're going doesn't tell you it's out of toilet paper. You're swapping. They're walking out, you're walking in a busy restroom, and they just go, if I went through it, you have to go through it in their head.
That's that's real.
Is that more for girls since you guys
It's
only...
definitely a little bit more of a girl thing than a
Yeah.
guy thing because but
you don't dab.
but that is very annoying. I will say that in my household that's an issue. That is something my wife will absolutely, even if she was the last person to use it, if she is then the next person to use it and it's out of toilet paper, I will be blamed.
Yeah.
I am consistently blamed for the toilet paper situation, no matter what bathroom and my involvement. You got to have it ready to go.
Oh, yeah. That's
Got to be on top of it.
You really don't want to run out of toilet paper. No one enjoys that.
But there's always toilet paper under the sink.
Oh, yeah.
This is also where sometimes I get mad and I'm like, I cleaned toilets once upon a time. Like, there's always an extra roll of toilet paper in any public restroom.
Yeah.
Just open up some cabinets.
Well, mine was at Costco, which, I mean, they got a lot of toilet paper in the building.
Oh, come on. There's plenty. And they're giving it away.
Rolls.
You can get $75,000 for $2 or whatever.
It's a great deal. Okay, so the next thing and the reason I wanted to start this podcast is because, like, miserable moments, embarrassing moments that we get to turn into jokes. Because, like, most people just have to suppress it.
Totally.
So it's fun to think about, like, any moments. You don't have to say the jokes. Just, like, moments that you turned into jokes from real life.
I know. Well, it's funny because the thing I was going to do was pee in the bed.
Oh, I ruined it. I started off with your thing.
That's what I did. That's why when I read it, I was like, oh, I'll talk about peeing in the bed.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That's so funny. In your head, you're like, fuck.
I read your thing. I did what I was supposed to do. You sent me your thing. I was like, let me actually look on and do it.
We can talk more about it. We didn't cover.
There's got to be something else. I talk about a lot of stuff. I talk about a lot of, like, my embarrassing stuff on stage. What am I talking about? What am I talking about these days? I mean, I talk about, like, I'm talking a lot about marching band right now.
Oh my God. I was in marching band.
I was in marching band as well.
What did you play?
Trumpet.
Oh, nice. I was
clarinet.
That's funny. So I was the oboe, but they made me do the clarinet because the oboe is not in marching bands.
On stage, I'll call out what people played.
That's fun.
Based on their look. And I was pretty close there.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah,
you
I'm
really
pretty good.
can, like, look at people and tell what they played.
Yeah. It's not that. It's a very easy trick to do. But when I hit, explosion in the room.
Yeah, sure.
Big
Crowd
pop.
goes wild.
Yeah, and if I'm just like clarinet, it goes like, yes. It's like, bam. Get it. Yeah, so I'm pretty good at it. But with that said, so I'm talking about marching bands because that was like such a. I mean, I'm talking about being bullied in middle school. So I'm talking about being bullied, but in like a whatever, it's fine. Like always have to like preface it being like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's like, it was fine. Like,
yeah. Don't want the audience to be worried about it.
Yeah, I'm always like, it's fine. It makes me what I am. It's totally okay. I survived and I'm completely okay. And I think it is weird to me when adults really hold on to that stuff. And I'm like, gotta let it go.
I agree.
You're being tormented by a 13-year-old. Like, gotta work through it. Go to therapy. Do some internal, not even therapy sometimes. Sometimes when I say therapy, I mean like internal therapy.
Yeah.
Sit in a room and be like, we can't spend the rest of our life letting this 13-year-old run us. And because I had that talk with myself once upon a time. I was like, because one of the girls who bullied me, I was mostly bullied by girls.
Why is that so funny? That's not what you picture at all.
I know. I was so small. It was just such an easy target.
Oh.
I was under 5 foot going into high school.
Okay.
So I was really tiny.
Did your parents do the lines on the wall?
I think my line never went anywhere. My line just like wouldn't go up. It was brutal. I was really short. I was usually the shortest kid in my grade.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but this one girl, one of the biggest ones, and like 6, 7, very early in stand-up, she sent me a message on Facebook.
Oh my God.
And she was like, hey, I just want to say, like, I see you're doing well. Congratulations. Like, you know, I don't know if you remember me, but like we went, you know, and I just want to say, like, it seems like you're doing great. And I was like, do I remember you? Oh, I fucking remember you.
Oh, wow.
And I like looked at her. I went to her profile and she's like a teacher now. She's a mom. Like, you know, and I just was like, why am I mad at this woman for something she doesn't even remember she did? Mm-hmm. Like in her mind, this wasn't even a thing. But for me, it carries so much weight. But I was like, why are we and I just like wrote her back being like, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Just like completely like forgave her.
That's great.
Without her ever knowing it. But that's like, you got to do that. You got to let it go. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about being bullied, talking about that stuff. I also talked about this. Yeah. Yeah. So that's something I'm talking about on stage. That I'm like, that's all real.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's one you have to be prepared for, that you let sit for a while. But yeah, it's crazy thinking like if you hold on to something and then this person has moved on as a whole other person.
She's a whole different person. She's a teacher.
Yeah, she can't be.
She's a teacher.
Imagine if she was the same.
I was like, she might be. I mean, I don't know what she's like. All I know is I just saw her profile and I was like, what are we doing? What are we gaining from this?
The thought of her reaching out though, like, what are the chances of that?
She was so sweet. I mean, she was such a sweet message. She was just being supportive. And there I was like, you.
Oh, that was so weird when you saw her name.
I was like, and then I like looked and I was like, oh my God. Because I thought it was going to be an apology. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, when you first started saying that,
I was like, and then it was nothing. And I was like, well, that's even weirder.
Because she doesn't probably remember that.
She doesn't remember it at all.
It's like a good review. You don't remember the good reviews. You remember it because you got the bad side of it.
Yeah. So it's like, and I think in her mind, she was like, I'm sure she's like, we were joking.
Yeah.
We were jokesters.
We were kids.
And I was like, you destroyed me. Emotionally destroyed.
So then so the thing is for band, middle school, everybody did it. I don't know if it was the same.
Not ours.
At least in 6th grade.
Maybe.
And then they started dropping off 7th, 8th grade.
And then by 9th is when you're in there.
You're in. I hid it. I hid in my backpack, my oboe and stuff. I hid that I was in marching band because I was so embarrassed.
Were you cool?
I was like friends with everybody.
So yes.
So I didn't want.
So by all intents and purposes, that would make you cool if you're friends with everyone.
But
Some would call that the definition of cool. It's being friends with everyone.
I had like all different cliques. Like
sure,
every bench I had friends at. But I was embarrassed about my band bench.
Yeah.
And I played sports and I was like, I can't do this. But I loved it and I loved everyone in band. And then after 9th grade, I quit.
I got kicked out in 10th grade.
You got kicked out?
Got kicked out.
What did you do? How do you get kicked out of band?
Because I was really good. I was second chair when I got kicked out, but I one time was first as a freshman.
Okay.
First chair as a freshman
is a big deal.
I really took trumpet seriously.
You take everything seriously.
I take everything very seriously. You won't outwork me, baby. And so I was really good, and then I wanted to do theater because I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is actually what we're gonna end up probably doing with our life. Mm-hmm. So I was like, gonna do theater and choir. I was also in choir. I mean,
wow,
it cannot be overstated what a loser I was. And so
I was gonna say talented, but
no, no, that's not the word anybody used. And so it's also a public school in Virginia. All of these are desperate for a guy.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to be an amazing singer to be in choir at a public school in Virginia. You just have to literally want to do it. And they're like, whatever.
Welcome.
Yeah. So I was in, but yeah, I was doing all three. And I was like, yeah, I want to stay in all three, but they're starting to kick up in commitment. Mm-hmm. And so I went to my choir teacher. My choir teacher was like, we'll figure it out. Drama teacher, we'll figure it out. Band teacher was like, no.
What?
He's like, you got to commit to this. And if you're not going to commit to this, get out. And I think in his mind, because I was like second chair, like first battling for first, second chair, mm-hmm. He was like, in his mind, I think I was going to be like, well, then obviously I'm going to do you. But I was like, no chance. And so, I was like, I kind of went to him and was like, hey man, I think I'm going to have to leave. And then he was like, get out.
Wow. They don't mess around in bands.
Yeah. We had quite the little rivalry. And I had the rest of high school to just look at him. It's the worst part about high school is when you get in a fight with a teacher and then you're like, particularly early, and then you're like, all right, now for 3 years, I just have to know you hate me. I'm going to walk around we're just going to pretend this event didn't occur.
Oh.
It's tough.
Damn.
I got kicked out. But part of that was marching band because it was like regular band. And then I was like, I can still do marching band. He was like, get out.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
You're not committed. I was like, all right.
I remember I wanted to play flag football. And it was the same time as marching band practice. Mm-hmm. And like I was even able to see them and then see like it was pretty much same field, different sides.
Totally.
And I'm like, God damn it.
I know.
All the overlap.
It's so tough.
It is.
You can only do so many things when you're like that.
I thought at first you were gonna say you guys like, cause I don't know, the band kids at my school, it was Florida though. They would like get like kicked out for like, or like they were the horniest kids I think in the school. The band nerds. Was it like that at your school?
No. I would definitely say not.
Like
That's a no. It's quite a loser group, I would say.
I mean, they're definitely
grow up?
nerds. South Florida. So they I don't know. They found
No, that's real. That's a real
love
place.
in each other.
That's a real place. I just do like a like. Is it Chicago, New York? Like if you do in like a big city, I'm like, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
You're in an old universe. But South Florida's, that's fair.
It's
I'll
a pretty
count.
normal town, I think.
Yeah. It counts. You're counted.
Okay, cool. That was a close one.
Ooh, yeah. At the same time, someone's like, yeah, it was true in my high school in artistic, artsy plays. It's like, yeah, get the fuck out. Obviously, it wasn't true in your school.
No.
I went to a public high school in Virginia. And it's one of the... Anyway,
so
yeah.
digging through those things, are you thinking about other parts of your life that you forgot about or like suppressed through like high school and middle school?
Well, so as far as like, is this the one I didn't? Because the one I can't get on stage.
Oh yeah, let's hear that.
And I've tried so hard to talk about it. And everybody brace, because it's going to be, this is why I can't do it on stage.
Okay.
Everybody brace.
Embraced.
So my house burned down in 9th grade.
What?
Cannot, I told you to brace.
That's crazy.
And that is why I cannot get it to talk. I cannot seem to talk about it on stage because people react so big.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing. But it's interesting to me.
Yes, it is. That doesn't happen to everyone, which
It's
is
a
always
very
a good
unique
joke.
experience to
because-
live through.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. But I can't seem to get it.
What? Like, you've tried to like calm down, and they're still just like, wait, what happened? Kinda, like-
I've been doing a joke recently about a friend dying, and I do this thing where I go, because it's the only way I was able to get the joke to work, is I do a thing on stage where I go, okay, everybody, hang on tight. We're gonna get sad for a second. We're gonna go back to fun. Okay, sad, fun. Everybody ready? I had a friend die. Say it, and then I like talk about it. Then I go back to fun, and we have like a really fun joke. But it's the way I've been able to get around being vulnerable in that way. So I'm like, I wonder if there's a way to do it with the fire, because I've never attempted that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just such a big fear of everybody, and then to like say that you went through it, everybody's like, it's just too much.
Everyone was okay though. No bodies harmed.
No bodies.
Animals.
We lost some animals.
I'm part of the problem.
I know, it's just tough. But only birds are the only ones that died.
Oh.
Birds are the only ones that died. Dogs. We had 2 dogs, 2 cats, and my mom was only able to get out 1 cat, and then they had to rescue the rest. But they did get them out.
Okay.
But she took the dogs out. But then dogs are stupid. So dogs, when they're scared, go to their safe space, which was back in the house.
Oh,
so they went running back into the house.
That's kind of funny.
And they had to be re-rescued.
That's a funny part. I mean,
It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah. A good time. Yeah, my mom was the only one home, so I didn't actually I wasn't there for the event.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of things to put down the fire.
Totally. Totally takes it easy. I wasn't there. I don't care. It wasn't my fault.
Birds only died.
Only the birds died. No big deal.
How did the fire start?
It was an electrical malfunction.
Damn.
Yeah. My mom's a paper artist. RonnieJolles.com. And she makes like layered paper. It's really beautiful stuff. But there's a room in our house that is wall-to-wall paper.
Shit, so she lost all of her art.
She lost a lot of art.
Oh no.
She lost a lot of art, but more so that's what caused what was like a spark that flew out of it. Was a spark. So when you have a fire, one interesting thing
What did you learn?
is there's fire detectives.
Detectives?
Detectives. They're fire detectives. They show up and they're and they literally are like, this is how it happened. Like they'll tell you exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
So they came in and they were like, this outlet right here. Spark flew out, which isn't super uncommon, I guess.
Yeah. But
Landed on a piece of paper, took off.
the fact that a spark went out in a room full of paper.
Oh yeah, no, it's not good. You really set yourself up for failure.
What are the chances of that? No one has a room full of paper.
I know. We did.
That's a funny.
We did, and then we didn't.
That's funniest part to me. Like, that is what a...
It made total sense because, like, it was like one of these things where you're like, how does it get that big that fast? And it's like, oh, yeah. If a room is basically made to start a fire.
It was a fire kit room.
It was the most fire. Destroyed it. So yeah, so that's how it started.
Oh, it's very interesting.
It's
There's a
so
lot of
interesting.
funny in it.
I know. I want to figure out how to talk about it on stage because I'm like, oh, it's such an interesting world to like talk about and like go through it because it was a year of my life. A year of my life was from the day of the fire to about a year later is when we were able to live back in our house again.
So you were able to live in that same house, like they fixed the...
They kind of, yeah. It's like basically like we had 2 floors, top floor, like bomb went off. Just nothing. It just was like pure black. But then the bottom floor was like kind of salvageable, but it was a brick house. So the outside held. That's
good.
But it took about a year to like build it back enough where it was like inhabitable.
All right.
So for a year, my life, I was just like on the run. we were rogue as a family.
Damn, did you do hotel rooms at first?
We did, yeah. We did a month in a hotel, and then we went to a rental house, which was a nightmare. And then nothing short of an absolute nightmare. And then we went back to a hotel because we got kicked out of that rental house.
What?
And then we went back to a hotel, and then we went back home.
Oh wow! You got kicked out of the rental house?
Yeah, my dad got into it with the owners. Because they kept coming in.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And it's literally the entire premise is you cannot do that.
No.
And they kept doing it. And my dad finally was like I remember he was like, I'm taking a stand. And he was like, one of the things where he was like, and that's it. And you're out. And you're never coming back to his house. And so we're out of here. And like the next day, the insurance place called and they're like, they're kicking you out. And he's like, can they do that? And he's like, they can. And it was like, damn.
They were so in the wrong too.
Oh, totally. They were real scumbag, though, people. They tried to like, that was one of those things where when we entered the place, like our insurance guy, I don't even think my dad knew he did it. Just took a photo of everything around the house. And then I think when we left that house, the people who owned that house, I think, sent us a bill for like $50,000 of damages. And this insurance person, like, was like, nope. And I think like and I think we ended up paying like $5.
Thank God.
But it was like that. But it was like these people were such fucking crooks.
After all you guys just were going through too.
I know. To try to like destroy us. It was crazy. That's the other thing about having a fire when you're a kid though. It's not as serious. It's kind of it wasn't that serious an experience for me. Because it was just sort of like it was like a bummer.
Yeah, they're the ones dealing
with.
But
like now I'm an adult. I'm like, as an adult, I can't even fathom monetarily what they must have been going through. Life-wise, like everything. I'm like, oh, as a kid, it was like, this sucks. Like, it was definitely like I wasn't happy about it. But like, oh my God.
That was the joke. One of the jokes that I loved was people say high school is the worst time of your life. Yeah, you must be really killing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, but high school was a tough time. But that was in 9th grade. So that's how my high school journey began.
That is
very early. Fire. We're in trouble.
And then people in high school be like, oh, that's a kid whose house burned on fire?
It was it kind of spread. I remember it spread through the school pretty quick that had happened. But it was like, I don't think people realized how big it was. And then it was like the rental, the hotel. It was just very confusing. The whole thing was a very confusing experience.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, 2 younger sisters.
Okay, so it was a full house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a whole situation. It was a big problem.
Wow.
2 cats, 2 dogs. Everybody's just on the run.
Oh.
Everybody's just, we just had to figure it out. Figure it out as a unit. But it brought us together.
I had to have.
Yep. Brought us together as a family. It was
that's
like,
good.
I remember we went out to dinner that night, and my dad was like, okay, we're going to have to all really buckle down. Because this is not going to be easy. It's going to be a tough year. Like, going to be a tough year. And we like had all just like, be like, okay. Really brought us together. Yeah, we did it. We got through it.
That's good.
Got through it as a family. Figured it out. No big deal. No big deal. That's how my high school began for me.
Yeah, that's not easy.
Fire.
Man, I hope you're able to figure that out as a joke.
I want to figure it out, and it's like, because I do find it's like, oh, so interesting. But people react so violently when you first say it.
It's just shocking.
Of
but
course,
I
it's
feel like
it's the scariest thing that can happen to some people.
But if you're able to figure out like a friend dying joke,
Yeah.
I feel like you can do fire.
That's the thing. The friend dying thing is giving me a lot of confidence because that was so hard to write about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I really, because of a little bit of the premise of this thing, I was like, I need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Has to be talked about. So I did it. I figured it out. But that was how I was able to do it. Say it.
Yeah, you got this.
Just had to call it out. Say it. I stole that from my wife. I use that. That's her thing.
Really?
Yeah. Anytime she goes, she always is like, I'm sad.
Aw.
And when she gets mad, she goes, I'm mad.
That's so cute.
It's very cute. It's very cute. It is tough when like it's a real emotion and you are like, okay, but you are mad at me and it is a problem. But she'll still like,
She'll still do.
she'll go, I'm mad. I go, I'm sorry, Chaz. Why are you mad about? Oh, I'm mad. Gary.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. She's a good kid.
Oh yeah, she sounds like a solid kid.
She's a good kid. She gets mad and sad.
We all do.
Oh, good.
Well, is there anything, replug your special, anything else to plug?
Ahem. You doing plugs? All right.
We're doing plugs.
Follow me on social media at Danny Jolles. September 14th, the Roxy in LA. For the love of God, buy tickets. If you're a fan of comedy, please. It really would mean a lot. It is cool. It's going to be a cool thing. You'll be happy you were there to experience it. Also, go watch. I have 2 specials on YouTube. One of which is called You Choose, which is a Choose Your Own Adventure special. I think it's really fun. And then the last thing. Oh, also, when does this come out?
Like a month.
Okay, so I'm on the road in some way. All right. I'm on the road. Please go see me live. And the last thing I will say is that stand-up comedy is a lot like hockey. It is fun to watch on TV, but it is better in person. So if you live in any place, don't worry about whether I'm coming. It'd be great if you came and saw me. But more so, please look up your local comedy club. Check out the next couple headliners coming. Go online. Make sure you can find 10 minutes of uninterrupted stand-up from them. No hecklers, anything. 10 minutes of uninterrupted stand-up. If you can find that, go and buy a ticket and experience stand-up comedy live. It is so much better live than you realize, and you will never stop going.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. No hecklers. Thank God I don't have any of those videos.
So hecklers happen. We all have hecklers.
No, but that
It shouldn't
specific
be-
time.
yeah, but-
type.
10 minutes. Gotta find 10. Gotta find 10 minutes uninterrupted.
Oh, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Bye.